Oh, I am in California, here working at a job that is getting me in alignment with what I really want to do in my life. It may be something very small in this direction, but one small step can lead to something great. Got me a nice juice. So, the title of this live is called I Figured Out Humanity's Biggest Opposition. And before I really get into it, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. You could be anywhere else in the world. Even if you're watching this in the future, I appreciate you for taking the time to listen to what I have to say. Because one thing's for sure, and two things for certain. The fact that somebody's willing to take time out their day to listen to me means that I'm valuable to them in some type of way. And on top of that, I make you think about things in a way that can help you in your life, that can help shift your mindset in your life, that can put you in a direction where you can be you. So, one of the things that I've been really appreciating more of is that the world's inside of you is just as important as the materialistic things that you desire in your life. Really more important. This green juice is doing its magic. So, today at work, peace, Jules. Today at work, my co-workers found a cat during their 15-minute break, and it reminded me of the cat I used to have when I lived in Florida. And that cat I had in Florida, his name was Milo. It was like I was being comforted, being embraced by Milo. And one of the things I recognize when it comes to animals, when it comes to people as well, everything is a representation of you. Peace and love to everybody who is here right now. I thank you for commenting. Thank you for sharing just you in this moment. If you're here right now, please like the button, like the video, like the button, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I have a lot of live videos that I've been doing on my channel, so if you want to check out my recent lives, please go do that. So to continue what I was saying, this cat that my coworkers brought in, it reminded me of the cat I used to have, but the eye color is different. So the eye color that the cat had that I used to have was blue, kind of like a light blue. But the cat that they brought in is like a yellow. Here's what I internalized with that. Eye color is let's slow it down. We know the eyes is the windows to the soul, right? If the eyes is the windows to the soul, then we can understand that the window directly reflects the projector. So, to put it in this perspective, most melanated people, those who have a darker skin pigmentation, they have brown eyes. Brown represents the soil, brown represents the dirt, brown represents the roots. Brown can also represent wood, trees. Longevity is what I'm getting at. Brown represents longevity. And because the cat I used to have was blue, his eyes was blue, that cat's eyes was projecting ocean, water, air, the sky, like a higher vibration. I want you to know that your eye color is a representation of how you decide to see life. And because this is just a physical manifestation, you have the power to understand the metaphysical manifestation. Peace and love, everybody who's here. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Ketty. Thank you, DJ. Thank you, Monkey Crew. Thank you, Horrence. Thank you, Beast, for subscribing. Thank you, Mr. Pickle. Thank you, Trayvon. Thank you, Cam. Thank you, Goku. Thank you, everyone who's here. Thank you, Elaine or Alan. Thank you, everybody who's here right now. I appreciate you. Thank you, ICU. Thank you. Peace and love and gratitude to everyone who's watching right now. I bring up the fact that this cat was brought into my job's atmosphere, and it reminded me of the cat I used to have in Florida, because the past couple of days I've been very conflicted. I've been feeling real emotionally aggravated. And it's because I'm recognizing how my past self is trying to influence my present self. And I'm not willing to go down the same route that I went through in my past. I want to be present enough to influence a greater future. And this leads into the understanding of why, or understanding of how I figured out humanity's biggest opposition. So if you're here right now, it's finna get deep. If you here, like the video. If you here, throughout the entirety of this video, you're gonna learn something great. So, would you agree with me if I say that your emotions is a manifestation of how God feels? If anyone here can answer that question, please do so. Would you say that your emotion is a manifestation for how God feels? Would you believe that your thoughts is a manifestation of how God thinks? I believe this is true. But here's where things get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's get a little deeper. Every human being, every animal, every object is a manifestation of the universe, spliced into different perspectives. So think about this. All the emotions that you felt in your life is a perspective of how the universe is experiencing this same life with you. You see, when people become more aware, become more wise in their journey, they tend to feel alone because they feel like they can't talk about these things with anybody else. Well, what if I was to tell you the universe or God is with you throughout this entire journey? And you have to recognize, because the universe and God is with you throughout this entire journey, then that also means that the darker aspects of the universe is also with you as well. You can say demons, you could say the devil, Satan, you could say Lucifer, you could say Jinn. All these dark shadow beings are also with you as you are experiencing the light or the brightness or the shine of the universe. The problem is, though, that the universe projected both light and darkness onto human beings, onto elements, onto the gods and goddesses. But that's not the bad part. That's just the duality of it. The bad part is a lot of people don't understand that when you can't acknowledge the fact that you have a dark side to you and a light side to you, and they both hold a purpose in this life, you're gonna imagine you pulling a dog. This is literally what I just seen. Imagine you pulling a dog by its neck while you're walking, but the dog wants to stay still. It's like you're causing the dog to strangle, to feel like it's just being pulled away from where it wants to be. You do that to yourself when you don't acknowledge that you have a version of you that is more dark, and you have a version of you that is more light. There is a group of people in this world that do nothing but try to figure out how they can influence humanity to ensure that it can fulfill what they desire. But they don't understand that humanity itself, having a human body itself, is a superpower. Having a human body itself is a superpower. This is why so many things want to influence you to be like it. The fact somebody said Brody snuck his phone into the yard is funny. Right now, I am in the yard of California. And in this yard, I brung my richness into the bank of righteousness. And I want you to get this, bro. Humanity's biggest opposition is itself. There is no devil, nor demon, no angel, no God, no goddess that can influence a human being as much as the true aspect of a human being. What does that mean? What do I mean by that? So, I asked you a moment ago, do you believe that emotions are a manifestation of God? I asked also, do you believe that every thought is a manifestation of God? The reason why I ask this question is because if the universe, if all the planets and solar systems are also within this body, then that means this body has the power to influence universes, solar systems, planets. And because our influence is so powerful, that means that the things we put into the universe hold value, no matter how big or small we think it is. Whatever we take from the universe, whether it's an idea, whether it's food, drinks, fruits, air, emotions, whatever we take or observe from the universe is now a part of our power. So understand this. You are your biggest opposition. Your emotions can be your greatest adversary if you don't understand them. Your thoughts can be your greatest adversary if you don't understand them. Your actions can lead to your greatest misery if you don't take the right ones. Your environment can be your biggest op if you don't understand how to grow in your environment. You see, in order for one to really get into a position where they can live in a more wealthy lifestyle, can travel, can do all of these things, you have to create better standards for yourself. And with these standards that you are creating, that means emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically, you have to take the correct steps. You have to start shifting yourself to allow these standards to be put into the forefront so that you can receive all the things you desire to receive. Everyone talks about the power of manifestation. Everyone talks about the power of, excuse me, the universal laws and stuff like that. All of these things apply. But the number one thing that does apply as well, that people may overlook or may not understand or may not try to pay attention to, is the power of self. I just thought of a whole acronym for self. See everything and love faithfully. See everything and love faithfully. I'm a Scorpio. And throughout my life, just like how the what's the word I'm looking for? The stereotype of a Scorpio, hell yeah, we be wanting to, get busy sometimes. But when we learn how to turn that emotion or turn that drive to something else, we tend to get a lot more things done. But the problem is, because most of our energy is deprived from that position, from that area, what happens is there's going to be energies, entities, or emotions or thoughts that pulls you back into that space. Now, because I am more aware of my reality, aware of self, I recognize that, yeah, this could be my emotions and my thoughts. But if I'm around other people, then that means I'm taking in their emotions and their thoughts as well. And then wait a minute, on the flip side, there are beings that are non-physical in life right now that are influencing our physical emotions and our thoughts. I don't think people recognize the power of not only the human body, but the power of the non-physical essence that we carry. What is the non-physical essence that we carry? Our aura. Our aura is what projects out into the world. Our aura is what people feel when we come into the room. Our aura is what vibe we feel when we see ourselves in our own pictures, videos, stuff like that. What's up, Hanma? My name is Jared Cinco. For those who don't know me at all, my name is Jared Cinco. And who I am I never really sat with myself and just put myself into a single ideology, but to simply put it, I'm opportunistic. I think about high positive outcomes. I think about and project about high possible ways of living and being. And with being high value, or let's just say, or when being in a higher state of thought processing and emotional understanding, you're gonna have things that is on a lower scale of that. Let's slow it down a little bit. Have y'all ever seen those quotes that said that if you want to be rich, you have to experience when you broke? If you want to be happy in a family, you gotta find how to be happy with yourself. You gotta find how you can be happy with being by just you. Here's the thing, man. For everything we want, we have to experience its polar opposite and evolve past it. So, for those who's typing right now, take a moment and type in, what is one thing you wish you had right now? For those who's typing, what is something you wish you had right now? Let's see if they say something. I know they bots too. And when I say bot, I mean they're moving with the intention that they think they don't have attention. This is what I'm doing, waking people up, talking about auras and shit. This is the current popular thing, being all spiritual. You see, the problem is that the current popular thing is all spiritual because the energy is shifting. The popular thing is spiritual because we're recognizing how great spirituality is. There is spirit in everything. There's a spirit in that sentence that you just said. There is a spirit attached to your name. There is a spirit attached to this pole right here. There's a spirit that's attached to the clothes I'm wearing. Spirituality is being more brought to the forefront is simply because we are being more aware of the spiritual essence of life. But everyone isn't. It's being more talked about, but everyone isn't. Somebody said faith when I asked that question. Faith, in order to receive faith, you have to know what it's like to not have it. And that sounds fucked up, don't it? You telling me I gotta know what it's like to not have faith to receive faith? Yeah. And you know what that's called? Blind faith. Blind faith means you don't need to see it to believe it. You don't need to see yourself making money to know you're gonna make money. You don't need to see huge amounts of dollars in your account to know that you are wealthy. You don't need to see women come up to you and want to talk to you because you looking good, looking nice, and feeling good about yourself to know that in the future, because you're doing what you need to do, woman's gonna naturally come up to you and want to do all of those things. And I'm just using that as an example. And you sound like every LSD toting hippie in the 60s, rinse and repeat. History repeats itself. I respect your honesty. Here's something funny though. Here's something very funny. The only history I want to repeat is a history where people respect, acknowledge, and value one another. You're absolutely right, Jordell. So my question to you is, do you want to influence a better cycle? Or do you want to complain about the cycle repeating itself? Because here's the thing that people aren't going to say. Everything is repeating itself, but we still have the power to influence a greater reality by breaking the cycle. How do you feel we should break the cycle then, Jordell? Right, the cycle they created for us, we gotta break that. That's good. Jordell, you on to something, boy. Keep going. You cooking right now. The boy got the seasoning, he got the pot ready, he got the oil, he got the skillet going. That boy doing his thing right now. Chef Boy RL. Chef Boy Jordell. That boy cooking right now. I want to say this though too. Because I understand that that humanity's biggest opposition is itself. That means when we can fully embrace the power that we consume, or shall I say the power we already have within us, once we kind of awaken more to that understanding, that means we can influence a cycle that's greater for us. But that takes unity. That takes unconditional love. That takes sacrifice. That takes guidance. The cycle that they created for us, it wouldn't have even been established if we didn't follow their directive. They created the cycle that we are in. And who is they? Because I know when we hear the word they, talking about like they created the cycle for us, a lot of times they want to talk about the government, the people behind the scenes and stuff like that. What if I was to tell you it's light and darkness, time and gravity, the energies that dwell within time and the energies that influence gravity? What if I told you those two entities, or those two environments that house entities, are influencing this cycle? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the best way we can all stand together is if we all can take, I wouldn't even, like, look, let me slow it down. The way I think, I don't take one idea and try to really run with it like I used to. Like, if you had $1 million idea, you're going to take that idea and just like run with that idea, right? But then you have to have sub-quests that align with that idea so things can happen in a more manifested, in a more alignment. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. If we was to come together and work together and be in balance, we have to have opposing energies, light and darkness, good and evil, power and destruction, working together to create a better reality. We cannot be all love and light. We cannot all be peace and gratitude. We have to know how to embrace using our chaos to get what we desire, and using our aspect of our heart, our unconditional loving self, to influence something that we all can gain together. Exactly, Jordell. You even doing that, like for instance, you having a main job and having a side hustle is equivalent to your light being at work all day, but your darkness doing something on the side that can get you something in return. Your light and darkness is working together by doing that. For those who's working a real job and having a side business, they are literally utilizing their light and darkness to get them what they need. But here's balance. This is what I believe balance is. Balance is when you can embrace the love of the world, but you can also embrace the hate of the world. We know love and hate is on a thin line. Just like darkness and light is on a thin line. If you was to have a black picture on your phone and drew a white line, black and white is equivalent to communicating to that one line. So Jordell, you being here, expressing yourself, being you, expressing that we should be free, I agree with you. I agree with you 1,000%, because the problem is, before we can become free, we have to free ourselves from holding back who we are. Self-sabotage is a real thing. If you continuously sabotaging yourself, you can't be free to be you. Everything must start within first before it can happen externally. Otherwise, you will get stuck to consumerism. You will get stuck to an uncontrollable amount of selfishness. You have to embrace the fact that you have things that you want, things that you kind of just want to make you feel good, because that's what life gives you, that ability to where you want to do things that makes you feel good. And I'm not talking about sexual, I'm talking about materialistic things. But then if you understand that some of these materialistic things are simply a manifestation of what you already are inside, it allows you to embrace it more. And then guess what? You feel like you're not going to really need these materialistic things, but you feel like you can help others gain what they need, they need materialistically, so that they can be in a better alignment with their selves. Everyone who's watching this in the future, I want you to really look at this live chat right now and look at how much Jordell is just being himself, expressing his truth, expressing that. We don't have enough people in this world that's expressing their truth in a way that allows others to understand. I'm the type of person that will not make you feel bad for not being you. I'm the type of person to let you know that regardless of what you got going on in your life, you have a choice to be the best version of you. And while I'm giving you that, I'm also telling you, showing you, gifting you the ability to be aware of what you've been through that got you here. I'm gonna give you an example. My coworker, her name's Jennifer. She's awesome. Jennifer hasn't really traveled at all in her life. At all. She's from California and all of that. And because she didn't travel at all in her life, she's now, I don't know how old she is, I didn't ask her. But just recently, she traveled to Europe and traveled all around Europe. She just recently went to Thailand, got to ride elephants, got to be able to get massages on the beach. And this is recently. I think she's like 35, 36, maybe older. And I'm bringing this topic up because embrace the present. This is why I'm speaking on this. Embrace the present. Because when you're not in the present moment, you're going to miss something that you wish you had later on. And then it's going to be harder for you to really appreciate it when it comes later on, because you ain't see it when it presently happened. Now, the universe has a very, very interesting, funny way of showing you why you should be present in the present moment. But you have to be open to the universe. Because right now, like right now, with everything that's going on in the world, you got Trump almost getting sniped. You got Biden stepping down. You got Kamala Harris stepping up. You got more alien things happening. You got more truth being spread more than anything else in this world. And because truth is being spread every day in this world, you need to find your truth. And when you find your truth, understand all the things that help you with being truthful. And when you find these things that are helping you be truthful, take that, grow with that, advance with that, and show how others can do the same. Do not keep it to yourself. 2030 is the year of 5. If you haven't already been trying to spiritually grow, if you haven't already been trying to tap into the highest timeline of you, which means the timeline you desire to be in, whether it's wealthy, whether it's superpowers, whether it's traveling out of this world, whatever. Thank you, Jordell. If you want to do all of these great things, to be in alignment with you, you need to understand you. The high you and the low you. Here's the funny thing. I'm going to tell y'all this because I'm about to go back to work in like 10 minutes. I used to smoke a lot. Like, back to back, nigga. Oh, God. I used to roll up a big one, smoke one right before I goddamn ate food, smoke one before I got some yams and all of that. It was an angel number that was given to me. It's not a normal angel number like 22, 33 or whatever. The angel number was 4514. I was like, how is this an angel number? First off, every number is an angel number. The universe, God, any entity that you feel you can believe in or that you can communicate to will speak to you through numbers and symbols. If you can acknowledge the number and symbol, you can receive a message. So the number 4514 is a message that says, be sober and watch the real you shine. And I was confused at first because I was smoking a lot. Definitely let me know, Jordell. Subscribe, bro. We can chop it up. We can even go live on here together, for real. Let me continue. When I used to get high, that's when I first started to recognize, like, damn, this spirituality shit is important. I need to tap in. But when I stopped smoking, that's when my real shadow self started to appear. That's when the real struggles of trying to find love within myself started to shine for real. That's when my darkness and my shadow started to come out like, yo, we've been waiting for you. You've been trying to get away from us by smoking and shit, but now we here. Once I started to go through that journey of not indulging in things that is helping me get away from my true self, I started to face my demons. I started to face my angels. I started to face the gods. I started to face the goddesses. I started to face the elements. I started to face the planets. Well, I started to face the moon. The moon influences your emotions, by the way. There are energies inside of the moon and sun that projects onto reality, by the way. So here's the thing. For those who smoke, I'm not going to tell you to stop smoking. What I'm going to tell you is get in tune with the cannabis entity before you smoke it. For those who take shrooms, set an intention and get into an environment where that you can really embrace the energy that's inside of that mushroom to allow you to tap into you. For those who drink, alcohol literally means spirit. I don't know the full name, but the full meaning, but if you go to any liquor store, they will literally either say wine and spirits or beer and spirits. Before you drink, tell that spirit or liquor, thank you for being here right now, because I high key or low key or I have a taste for you. Thank you for being here. Give acknowledgement to the things you use that is outside of you. Please do that. Even food, even drinks, even juice, whatever. You can even say thanks to the air. You can say thanks to the water that you got in your plastic bottle. Give thanks, because these things these things can make you or break you. Simply put it. How can my food break me? What the fuck are you talking about? Well, if you eat without acknowledging what you eating, you wouldn't recognize if that food is poisoning you or helping you out. If you drink without acknowledging what you're really drinking, you will get blacked out you will get blacked out from your server, or you will cruise in your cruiser. Or you will cruise in your cruiser. If you smoke without acknowledging what you smoking, you're gonna get smoked out. If you take shrooms without acknowledging what you taking, you're gonna be decomposed. I hope this making sense to somebody. Thank you to everyone who's been in the live. Thank you to everyone who's here in the future if you're here. Thank you to all the likes that I received. I figured out humanity's biggest opposition. And it's not gods or goddesses. It's not extra interterrestrials. It's not demons and devils. It's not angels. It's not none of that. Humanity is humanity's biggest opposition. Because guess what? Being a human means you house all of the energies that dwell in the hues or colors of existence. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I love you. I appreciate you. You're amazing. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Subscribe for more. I'm gonna get back to work. I love y'all. Peace.